The Tennessee Titans have the number one overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and we have a problem. As a Tennessee Titans fan, I'm finna sit up here and tell y'all what the problem is, man. Let's get into it. There's been a lot of discourse going on what we want to do with the number one overall pick. A lot of guys is on team draft Adul Carter. A lot of guys is on team draft Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. And a lot of guys is on team, hey, let's trade back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to break down each scenario. Because, to be honest, I already picked my side. I will let y'all know later on in the video what team I'm on. But we finna break down each scenario of what would happen if we go each of those three scenarios. You feel me? Let's get into it. Scenario one, where a lot of people seem to agree with, is team draft Adul Carter. And to be honest, this is the one I least disagree the most with, because as much as I like Adul Carter out of Penn State, he's probably one of the best pass rushers we probably gonna have in the next couple of years. He's a Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson type pass rusher. Like, he's a guy you gonna put right in or left end, and he can just win one-on-one matchups. I'm not on that team of Adul Carter because we can get pass rushers, y'all. I understand, like, in the NFL that you need a great pass rusher in order to win games. Obviously, you saw this year with the Eagles, with how they did with Josh Sweat and their defensive line and how they got out to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Obviously, you saw that you need a great pass rusher in order to win games, in order to win championships. But in the Tennessee Titans case, we had a playoff game, and I don't want to go back to this playoff game, but we had a playoff game where we got 9 sacks in 2022, and we lost the football game because guess what? Quarterback play. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not on team build up a defensive line. A defensive line is very important. It's probably like number 2 and number 3 most important positions on the football field is having a great defensive lineman. But in this case of where the Titans are right now as a franchise, we don't have a quarterback and we don't have an offense that could go score points to where our defense needs to be both up. Because, to be honest, for the first couple of weeks last year, we had a top. I understand people don't want to say our defense was that good, but our defense was probably at a top 3, top 2 level on yards. I ain't gonna say points wise, but on yardage. And so it wasn't the fact that our defense was so slow last year. It was more the fact that our offense just couldn't score points. And you had Will Levis just throwing interceptions every single game. So it's like, man, I get people who wants to draft Adul Carter because he's the best player available. He's that quote-unquote generational talent, even though I think Travis Hunter is a generational talent. But people look at Adul Carter like a generational talent. I don't want to just beast up our defensive linemen because we do got guys like Devontae Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons, obviously, that's, you know, is going to be here for some years. So we can go get guys in probably like a second or third round or go spend a free agency to get pass rushers. I'm not too much focused on getting Adul Carter, especially at number 1. Like, if you're going to get him at number 1, if you're going to get him at like number 3, number 4, okay, I'm more about it. But at number 1 overall, nah, man. I'd rather go on a different path, but a lot of guys seem to want to do Adul Carter. Hey, if you want to do Adul Carter, that's you. I firmly disagree with you. That's your opinion, but hey, a lot of guys want them, and I disagree with everybody who wants them. Scenario 2, which is the one I agree with completely, which is team draft a quarterback. So it could be Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, golly, but more or less Cam Ward, because Cam Ward is everybody consensus number 1 quarterback in this draft, and everybody else consensus is Shedeur Sanders, but more or less Cam Ward. And that's the word team I'm on. I'm on team draft Cam Ward, man, because the quarterback is the most important position on the field, and the quarterback play last year, especially with Will Levis, we ain't even talk about Will Levis, but especially with the quarterback play we had last year, man, we need a quarterback under the center this year that can at least have us a chance and give excitement to the fan base. See, that's the thing about it. Like, when you draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, you're going to bring excitement back into this fan base, and you're going to actually have guys and fans actually go out and go support the team. Even though we're not going to be as good as we're supposed to be, we're still going to go get fans that will go and support the quarterback. Guess what? We just drafted a quarterback number 1 overall. You feel me? So that's the main reason. And another reason is, like, you know, you get a guy that can come in and develop with Brian Callahan's scheme, and you get Brian Callahan's guy more or less to say. So I'm on team draft Cam Ward. Get Cam Ward to Tennessee, man. He obviously he wants to be here. He wants to show this organization. He wants to show other teams like, hey, I am this type of quarterback, and I will make your franchise better than what it is. And so I want a quarterback like that. I don't know about y'all, but I want a quarterback like that. So, man, I'm on team draft Cam Ward, and if y'all can you disagree with me if you want to, I don't care. I feel like that if you get that quarterback and you get Cam Ward is going to be successful in the NFL, and he will be successful with the Tennessee Titans. I really believe that. So go get Cam Ward. And the last scenario 3, is to trade out the number 1 overall pick and give draft capital for the years down the line. So for 2026, 2027, trade out with probably like the New York Giants, Las Vegas Raiders, and something like that. And this the one. This is second on my list because I wouldn't hate it. Because if you don't like the quarterbacks this year, which I don't know why you wouldn't like Cam Ward, but if you don't like the quarterback class this year, okay, trade out of it. Let's get draft capital for years down the line. But it has to be something like how the Chicago Bears did with the Carolina Panthers a couple years back. It has to be something like that. If it's not something like that, I don't even want to hear it. I think Mike Borgonzi's our new general manager. I think he's so smart to the fact that if he's not getting a Carolina Panthers type deal, he's not even going to take it. So, I mean, that's where we at with the third one. I mean, if we can trade back and possibly draft a dual Carter or draft like a wide receiver or something like that, okay, but like the excitement for 2025 is not going to be there because if you trade back, okay, you gain more picks, you gain more guys to come play in. Okay, it's going to take about 2-3 years for these guys to develop to the players they're going to be. And you basically saying you tanking on 2025 for next year. And we still don't know if Arch Manning coming out. I ain't even finna say Noah last name for Tennessee Volunteers. I'm not even finna say his last name. But is he really that good? I don't know. I mean, I think if Arch Manning comes out next year, okay, boom, get him. You feel me? But like everybody else, the quarterback class next year probably is not going to be as good. So you feel me? So you're going to fall back to the position where, okay, you picking in the top 5 again. You had a sorry year again, and now you're picking in the top 5. And guess what? A more quarterback needed team is probably going to be like, if Arch Manning do come out, they probably going to be like, well, we number 1. We might well going to get Arch. You feel me? Having a number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, that means you was the sorriest teams of the league, man. And you need to be able to use this pick to make sure you draft a player that's going to change your franchise. That's what you need to do. And the Titans, we had never had a number 1 overall pick. It's crazy. I know, right? We never had a number 1 overall pick. But now we do. We have to be smart with this. And I'm on team draft Cam Ward. If we trade out of it, we better fleece a team that wants to be the number 1 overall pick. We better fleece them. If we don't fleece them, I will come to Nashville. I'll smack the shit out of everybody who in that room that made that trade. You feel me? But I don't think we're going to trade out the pick. I really don't. If we do trade out, I think it's going to be the Giants. But like I said, I want the haul. It's the haul. That's all I want. And if we get Shadur Sanders at number 3 overall, okay, then I'm not going to be as mad. But still, it's all about the haul for trading now. So those are all 3 scenarios that we got for the Tennessee Titans at the number 1 overall pick. What scenario do y'all guys want to do? You feel me? Do y'all want to draft a dual Carter, draft a quarterback, or trade out the position? Let me know in the comment section down below, man. I'm finna get these videos back pumping, man. You feel me? Hey, it's your boy Zar Almighty out. Peace.